This is not just another edition of Agents in the Trenches podcast. This is a very special edition because we are bringing to the forefront what is about to explode in our beautiful area of Naples, Florida. Hey guys, Lucy Quinones. And as you know, every week I bring something of value, something of relevance, and something that really sets the pace for what is happening out there in the trenches of our marketplace. Today, I am joined by two powerhouse leaders in the Naples arena. And let me say this clearly. Naples doesn't need more of what it has, and it has a lot of amazing things. But I feel that it is time for us to pioneer a new movement by bringing together leaders that have like mindedness. And let me explain what this means. This means that we're going to have a deep dive conversation with two incredible powerhouse leaders that realize it is the moment for more people to rise up in the Naples marketplace. Naples has the best luxury events. It has the best galas. It has the best of everything you can imagine, from Fifth Avenue to all the amazing communities that it provides. But here's what I'm going to tell you. There is an awakening happening right now in the Naples area, and leaders like ourselves are realizing, hey, there is still more work to be done. And that's why I'm so excited that you take a moment, stop, drop everything that you're doing, and join me for this incredible session of Agents in the Trenches. Here's what's going to happen. We are bringing people together in total collaboration. We are setting aside the spirit of competition, and we are co-elevating our businesses together by creating everything that breeds success, not just for the top producers, but for the people that are out there working in the trenches, doing the heavy lifting, the heavy pushing, those real estate industry professionals that deserve an opportunity. And as pioneers, today we are going to unpack what that's going to look like. So I'm super excited to invite my very first guest. I've admired this gentleman from afar. I know he has a powerful story. And as you know, I believe that our stories set the pace for the history that we can make wherever it is that we decide. So I want to bring up to join me in the stage Miguel Villarreal. And I want to kick this off by giving you an opportunity, Miguel, to express from your heart and your soul and from your wonderful, brilliant business mind. Tell us about yourself and what do you see happening next in our Naples area?
Well, Lucy, good morning, and everybody, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. When you reached out and invited me to this event, I did not hesitate to be part of it. Why? Number one, because you are trying to accomplish something that a lot of us have tried before. It was not able to be done. Connecting people, work together, and collaborate. Who I am, I define myself as a builder, and I don't build properties, even though I have a company that's a development company. We do build people, right? And I'm building people from the place of giving, and from the, probably the idealistic belief that what was given to me once before, I can give to others. And that's what I asked my staff to do too, right? We drive our companies, and it's multiple companies, through a main concept is clarity, simplification of things, humanizing processes. Now that we have so much AI going on and so much technology in the industry, and in the areas of real estate, mortgage, and in construction and development. We're a multinational firm. We do work in other countries, but most importantly, we work with people, right? No matter where you are, no matter who you are, you're probably feeling today overwhelmed, burned out. You're feeling that things are getting tougher, war, economic distress, inflation, other challenges, and we're not accustomed to that. At least not those that are new in the industry, Lucy. So, guys, so who I am, I'm just someone that has this idealistically belief that I can help and give back to others, as someone once gave back to me what they had.
That is so powerful. And I think that that is the pinnacle of what defines a servant leader, someone that doesn't just show up to lead people, but to serve them, to inspire them to lead. So I also want to mention that you are a very successful gentleman in the mortgage business. You've closed over $3 billion, And you're silently like what I would call one of those giants that I believe is about to awaken and rise up in this new generation of business, because I do believe we are in a new generation of business.
We are, and yes, meaning we've been blessed. I have been given the opportunity to lead big teams in Fortune 500 institutions, as well my own. Yeah, I mean, it sounds a lot, right? $3 billion and a lot of transactions. I think what is important is how many people. How
Yes.
many people have we been able to help? Not just from the mindset or the point of view of transactional, but from giving them the opportunity to become a homeowner, or to get the resources to be able to afford the college for their kids, or simply have a piece of land that they can call theirs, right? I saw this billboard the other day, and it was very impressive marketing. It said, for those that didn't believe on me, I'm gonna have two words: my home. And
Mm.
that hit, because I'm in the industry, you're in the industry too. That really hit that emotion, that hit that part of my heart that says, well, we're really giving people the opportunity to say, this is mine, this is my home. It's not like a pair of shoes. It's where you
Right.
see your kids, grow up. It's where you see your parents shelter when they're elder. So Lucy, we are in an industry that is more than a transaction. And in the flashing things, you say that I'm kind of in the background, and yes, it was by design. I was very successful in my career as a loan officer when I first started. And I didn't start as a loan officer, but being very successful, and I have a lot of light on me. And when I decide to help others, I intentionally decide to be behind them, not in front of them, helping them with what I knew and what I learned, to rise instead of being the brand. One of my companies is called MVM, and people think it's Miguel Villarreal Mortgage, and it's not. It's the most valuable member. We couldn't
Wow.
play with the MVP because at the time, Derek Carlson, when he first came to town, I was at Fifth Third Bank. We had a few meetings, and he had the idea to see his MVP real estate company. So I would start to think, what can we do to have a membership, a sense of belonging, the community. This is way before social media. Like my daughter says, Dad, you are in Facebook, and that's for old people, because I'm 23 and that thing is older than me. And
No.
it makes sense, right? But
Yes.
before even social media, we will always strive to have community and
Yes.
help others within the community and
Yes.
work with them. So I think that's what drives me is, yes, I can go out. I do public speaking. We own a coaching company. I do coach people at Citibank internationally and British Petroleum and high-level executives in a different type of mentoring and coaching and business development. But we're bringing that now to everybody, and we're trying to come out there, but not with the intention to have a spotlight. I don't really want to be known as the person. I want the people to rise and shine and look back and say, okay, I got this little bit from this individual.
That's so powerful. Guys, if you're watching live, give us a hashtag live. Share this with all your friends, put it on your profiles. This is going to get hot in this podcast today, because this is a conversation, if you have already seen or if you could tell, that's going to come from the heart. I mean, you cannot make up the reality that two powerful leaders accepted an invitation to a pioneering movement that I've taken on the courageous challenge to bring to Naples, a city that is elite, a city that is second to none, the most expensive zip code in the state of Florida, as we know, throughout the nation. But I also saw for the last several years, as I served on different boards and I gave my time, my energy, my effort, and contributed from a heart of servanthood, that there was more to be done. And I think that once we awaken to knowing that there's more to be done, that brings with it a responsibility to step up, to be the voice, to lead and not follow, to build and not destroy, to have the courage to go where others are not willing to go, because it's not going to be the easy path. And that's simply what I've decided to do. And I'm so happy, Miguel, that you are here. I know we're going to talk a lot more, so stay with me, because Next, I want to bring someone that, again, I've been watching from afar. And, life has a funny way of going full circle. This woman is not only a great trainer, a great professional, someone that loves helping others as well through education. She has taken stages in different arenas, has emceed, and she is now the founder of LorraineInspires.com. So let's bring Lorraine Geraci to the stage. Welcome, Lorraine. It is so good to see you.
Thank you so much, Lucy. It's great to see you, and of course, Miguel as well. I appreciate you having me today.
Well, Lorraine, tell the world, because this is seen locally, nationally, and internationally. Tell the world, who is Lorraine and what are you up to in Naples and beyond?
Yes, thank you so much. First of all, I jotted down some notes because my friend Miguel touched upon a few things that I want to elaborate on too, because I feel very, very strongly about it. I love your servant leader, the new generation of business, and really that generational selling that he was talking about, and really helping people become the best versions of themselves. That is really important because that kind of filters into a lot of what's going on right here in Naples, to your point, Lucy, right? One of the things that I've been very excited about working in the mortgage industry for over 22 years, predominantly in sales and education, is being able to really connect with over 20,000 real estate and also loan officers nationwide to be able to really educate them on various opportunities to help people with generational selling, whether it's new homeowners or people in retirement. I focused mostly on the retirement market, Lucy, over these years as a loan officer myself and branch manager before I went into the training and development field. And I realized, based on the background, I'm like, I was excited to be able to kind of bring people together, not just educate, but inspire and motivate and really bring people to a different level of interacting. I love what Miguel was talking about, relationship selling,
Yes.
not transactional. And I think, although I love a lot of our technology, and I'm nowhere near like Miguel is, but I'm starting to get to know a little bit more about different opportunities using AI and different things of that nature. I don't want people to forget how important it is to have relationships, to be
Yes.
able to shake hands, fist pump, give each other a hug, collaborate in person. I am more excited and more, I think, effective when I am in front of a group of people, whether it's training or just socializing, educating, developing, but sharing, because you
Right.
want to be able to help people make sure that they're comfortable. And if they're not, one of the things that I love to do is help them. If you want to be a speaker, if you want to be able to be a better sales professional, right? Whatever that means to you, let's help you get there. Because if
Yes.
you don't have the opportunity to educate yourself and develop, even if you've been in the business as long as Miguel has, not just you, Miguel, but a lot of other folks, myself, but if the longer you are in a particular focus, sometimes you get complacent and
Of
you
course.
don't realize that you got to sharpen your axe. You have to have an opportunity to be able to take your skills to the next level and really modify a little bit, right? Because of all the technology that's going on. So I am stoked to be able to help in any way. A lot of what your pioneer movement that you mentioned, Lucy, in Naples, I've been here for only 7 years, and I can't even believe the difference since I walked in the door in Naples, Florida. First of all, it's huge. I don't think people
Mhm.
realize how big Naples is, and
Yes.
the opportunities here are endless. So I'm very excited to be part of it.
Wow, this is amazing. So we're here today because we're actually opening the gateway to what's going to happen tomorrow, just so that everyone knows. And again, if you have questions for Miguel or for Lorraine, drop them in the chats. There's a lot of people that have been watching so far. So share this and let's just pack the online room so that everyone hears the message that Miguel and Lorraine wants to transmit. As we prepare for a one of a kind Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp Naples edition. Um, like I mentioned to both of you, I'm looking to surround myself with leaders that have succeeded, like yourselves, people that have made an impact in their life and business through what they do. Both of you use the vehicle of mortgages. I use the vehicle of real estate. I actually started as a very, unexperienced, broke, brand new to the area, realtor back in the year 2000 with, two little kids. And I know the struggle. And as life has blessed me with really becoming the epitome of the American dream, I wasn't born in this country. I am a first generation immigrant. All the odds. I would always laugh and tell people, listen, I'm a three times minority. Not only am I an immigrant, I'm Hispanic and I'm a woman. So I've got a lot of odds to overcome. But there's one thing that I've always felt in my heart, and it is to make a difference. So I want to ask Miguel and then Lorraine, if you could take a white canvas and knowing what you know about Naples, and Miguel, you've lived there for many years, what would you paint for us should the next 24 to 36 months look like for Naples when people like ourselves decide to take a stand and serve more and collaborate more and empower more and build more community and really do the things that complete Naples, not competes with Naples? What would that look like for you, Miguel?
Well, it's quite simple, Lucy, and yet complicated because involves want to give up, the self belief that you need to be better than others and understand power is within the group more than into the skills or the blessings or the abilities that were given to you at birth, right? Or you developed throughout the years. So if I was starting today in this wonderful time, and as I say, it's a wonderful time because we have an opportunity to live in a life-changing event, right? I mean, I lived through many, to Lorraine's point, that I've been doing this for a long time. But the AIs and what's going on in the world right now and the realignment of powers, I don't think anybody else in the next 100 years will see again because it's changing so much and it's happening right before our eyes.
Yeah.
So what would I do with that blank canvas? I will become an expert in two things: networking and creating the opportunity to connect with others and understand that, yes, it is healthy to compete, but it's a game, right? And it's a game that after the game, we can go all and grab, coffee and just keep on competing. Why not? And then it's a sport, right? And what I like mortgages so much is because it requires a team. Right? Same thing in real estate. You cannot accomplish what you did or have done in the past 20 years, Lucy, without a team behind you. A team of title companies, a team of appraisers, a team of mortgage lenders, the brokerages, the coaches. It requires a group, people like Lorraine. They come and educate them. And I have witnessed that firsthand, and she's amazing, by the way. So we have to understand that. And number two, instead of fighting technology and fear it, really start to develop the skill and the understanding that technology is here to stay. It's not to replace you. It's going to replace those that don't use it.
Right.
So, and use it as a tool. It's still a tool. It's still a machine. It's still, even though we think and we see the news, oh, now they have feelings. No, they learn how to express the output on what we define as an adjective, as a feeling, right? I'm happy. No, Claude cannot be happy. It's a machine, right? Even though we say we're giving them feelings, it's just LLMs. It's just basically language models. But to do that, you need to use the opportunity that is free, that is available, that is in YouTube, that is in TikTok, that is everywhere. Learn every day. Remember that what Mandela said before, it's always going to seem impossible until it's done.
Yes. That is so true. Lorraine, 24, 36 months from now, whether it's, you continuing to be my running partner at Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp, contributing your knowledge, just using the platform that has been created, that is activating so many people that are out there. Like Miguel was saying, people are going through pain because we're living in a new generation of business. People are going through uncertainty because the market is not what it used to be. People are suffering because they're really out there by themselves in an open ocean of, just competition, and no one's there to guide them. what would you say you want to see happen in Naples in the next 24 to 36 months to really make an impact?
Well, first of all, if I have a white canvas, I need lots of different colors because, I am just a very colorful person. And so I'd want a lot of different ways to be able to make that beautiful picture. But one of the things I realized working here and living here over the last 7 years is there are so many different types of people here from all walks of life. And I've noticed even in the last 7 years that the level of diversity in a variety of different factors is really important. I think Naples does have a stigma, as we all know, right? When it comes to certain, being very affluent and things of that nature. Yet we have so many different people here that deserve to be here, that deserve to be homeowners, that deserve to have an amazing retirement, that deserve to be successful. And I think we need to make sure that we cater to all of those different types of people because not everybody is the same. Not everybody has the same background or the same income level or the same opportunities. So creating a forum where just almost anybody can really accelerate and be a better version, be more successful, whatever that means to them, be happier, have more opportunities. And I call that, when it comes to the mortgage industry and real estate, and that is generational selling. One of the things that I wanted to do is to kind of, create a forum where we as an organization or as a group of people can really showcase from the first time home buyer, all right, the succession of generational home ownership and home equity utilization all the way to the retirement sector. So now you have your first time home buyer, you have your reverse mortgage person and everything in between. There's a lot of real estate and also lending opportunities for a variety of different people and to help them really figure out how is it going to be as easy as possible to be able to do that. It is not simple. I can tell you just from personal experience, whether it's, getting a mortgage, finding a home, finding a rental, all of these different things, I can tell you firsthand, and just going through it right now myself, not as easy as most people would like it to be. So I would love to be able to help with that in some capacity to make sure that everybody has an opportunity within the confines of who they are. I think one of the things I want to say is that sometimes people expect the actions or the deliveries of others if they're being taught or spoken to the same exact way. The big problem is we're all different. And the way I receive information and get motivated to do things, it might be different than Miguel. And the fact that we treat everybody exactly the same in some aspects is a detriment. We have to get to know our audience better, right? Know your audience, even if it's just the two of you on here on the screen, and really cater to the way in which those particular individuals or people in group need to be spoken to, inspired or motivated or educated, because they're all going to retain the information differently. So I think if we create something on this campus with lots of different colors, bringing back to my colorful nature, it's because there's so many different people, and it's important that we recognize that.
I love that. And I think like John Maxwell said it best, people don't really don't care how much we know until they know how much we care. So I want to come back to Miguel. Miguel, when I saw your video of inviting everyone to Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp in Naples, there were some words that stood out in this morning in our, pre-session before we went live. You mentioned them again, and I want you to take us deeper into what that means for Miguel Villarreal. Clarity, confidence, purpose, and empowerment. If all things are possible, how would you want to utilize these words and what they mean to you to really serve the Naples area and those that you are surrounded by?
Well, if you think of those together, the result is simplification of a task or simplification of understanding, right? If you are clear and you understand the why, and you have a very powerful why, right? It is easy to do what you want to do, right? Mm-hmm. And you understand not just your limitations, but that it could be possible. And I'm not talking about manifestation of I want to be rich and I want to have this, but that doesn't work like that, right? Or the fake it until you make it. So it's understand where you are. Right? That's the awareness piece, the clear path, understanding, and the clarity remains as a constant throughout the whole process. Then you have to have a reason of doing something. That's your purpose, right?
Right.
Because you know why, but for what?
For what?
What you want to accomplish, right? So you knowing your purpose, and a lot of people say my purpose are my kids, or make money, or don't have to work the rest of my life, and passive income. I haven't met yet someone that is passive and has income, but okay, we can call it passive income. And you know, no, what is the purpose? What are you really doing this for? Right? And always going to revert back to yourself. It's a self-awareness of who you are, right? And why you're here for. Because we know it seems there is a lot, and we have all the time in the world, but we don't. Time goes by really, really fast.
Very fast, yes.
Right? So you have your clear path, you understand your why, you have your purpose, you want to do it for you, for others, for your family, for whatever it is. What are the basic needs? And I know you were quoting something that we both learned at Tony Robbins, and the things that we learned at the beginning of this amazing individual that helped so many people. So we have that. If we're in Naples and we are in this community, don't we want to be in a place that we compete, we thrive, we win what we want to win, but at the end we belong? We want to wear the same jersey. It is our hometown, it's our market, it's our area. It's where we have our kids, and they were educated and grew up, and now maybe they're gonna go somewhere else. But that's home, right? And we're in a real estate agents in the trenches. What do we do as an agents? We provide homes, not a house. Is what happens inside that building, right? So that's what this is all about, Lucy. And what you're trying to accomplish, and I know you will. When I say trying, is because it's a work in progress. It is connecting and give that sense of belonging, right?
Yes.
So I can do it in a sophisticated way and talk about a framework and how this works and the ABC and 1, 2, 3. Let's don't go there today. Let's just save some of that for tomorrow. But let's talk today about what matters. Is that sense of belonging. Is your community. It is our hometown. Why we need to fight within. You and I, we came from a country that is being in war internally. We don't need anybody to fight with anybody else. We don't go and seek wars outside. We fight in our own home, right? From Colombia.
Yes.
So why? It's not a reason, right? We can compete, right? And we can also collaborate. But at the end of the day, home has to be in order. Home has to feel like home. And we have to have a high sense of belonging. And that itself is you only can accomplish that with clarity. And that's my main goal, is just to bring clarity and make this process easier and easier to understand.
And that's the power behind what you're going to share tomorrow, because we're living in such chaos. I sense so much chaos around us, regardless of the city that we go into. As an industry at whole, as a marketplace, there's a lot of people that are doing very well, but the majority are not. And that is my focus, is to, give hope and show people, listen, it's not going to be easy. You need to graduate from expecting things to be easy, but it is going to be possible, and you can make it. So Lorraine, what is missing in Naples? What do you feel we could do together to really complement all the wonderful things Naples already has? Because it has some amazing things. Like, people just think it's the rich and the famous. I don't know if you guys ever watched that show on TV. The Rich and Famous. There was a show called The Rich and Famous, and a lot of times that's the imagination we have when we say Naples. And it is home to a lot of rich and famous and beautiful waterfront mansions and properties, but there's still another level of social, economic, hardworking, in the trenches, people that are putting forth their best effort every single day, those silent heroes, those people that are waking up every morning to hustle and grind, and they're just, maybe sometimes even praying for an opportunity, for someone to give them an opportunity. So what's missing for us to bridge the gap?
This is going to sound very cliche, but I'm going to say it anyway, and then I'm going to back it up. Most people do not know how to manifest the life that they want, right? And it may sound like hearsay or hoopla or whatever you want to, call it, but I can tell you from experience, as well as working with thousands of people from an education platform over the years, it's not. And the more that people feel empowered, right, to Miguel's point, that, have clarity about what they really want to accomplish and how they have to think and feel in order to get there, it doesn't even matter what industry you're talking about. One of the things that I would love to do too is I had presented a class a few years ago at a mortgage conference in front of a lot of people. And I went there as a consultant at the time. And I taught this class, and it exceeded my expectations. And the name of it is the 11 Principles of Personal and Professional Growth. And I chose the number 11 for a reason. But the first thing is to take a personal assessment. Really know who you are. There's so many out there. Become more aware of you as an individual, how you tick, how you operate, right? And that way you can realize that other people are different and respect them for their differences. It's also important, number 2, is to get a hobby or volunteer someplace unrelated to your professional life. Balancing some of that, whether you have young children or, different families, different part of your life, it's very important. The other thing is to participate in some kind of speaking or presentation class. You don't have to be an instructor or a presentation person or a Tony Robbins, but the more that you can do that, the better that you'll be able to even have a conversation with your significant other, your boss, your coworker, right? So these things are not meant to make people professional speakers, but it's important that you have an understanding of how to communicate better, whether you're shy behind the scenes or an extrovert. Get in person, number 4, as much as possible. We talked about that before. Number 5, do one thing you've never, ever done before. I'm telling you, I can give you an example. We have more time about that I did that with a whole team that I brought to Naples for an event. Take a class outside of your comfort level. Number 7, don't underestimate the power of positive thought. All right, that this one talked about the manifestation. Number 8, take vacations, take breaks, no matter how busy you are. It's very important. Yeah. Number 9, manifest the ends, not the means. What is your end goal? What are you looking to accomplish? Go to the end. Don't think about all the major steps that are going to be taken to get there. Think about in your head, what's the ultimate goal, and act as if you already have it. Very hard to do, but very, number 10 is mental and physical exercise. I can speak from experience that makes a difference in your mood, in your accomplishments, in the way you're perceived by other people. And last but not least, number 11, become U squared. There's actually a book called U2, U squared. If you look it up it's 36 pages long. It's probably one of the most amazing little books I've ever read in my life. It's called U squared. And that's number 11. And the reason I pick 11 is because 11 has brought me, I have a tattoo that says 1111 on my wrist. The numerology has brought me to so many different places in my life, personally, professionally, and others as well. So I think if we take the opportunity to really focus on some of those things, it's automatic, increase of success and focus and happiness and others for sure.
So is that what you feel Naples needs more of in the next 24, 36 months? You want to see more of that shared?
I would love to see more of that shared and people also really collaborating. Listen, there are so many different meetup groups. There's some people on this call right now are like the kings and queens of networking. And I think that's great, and the more I get involved in some of these events and see what's happening in our town, the more I realize, wow, there's a lot going on here. And there's a variety of different ways on how people know about it. And people like yourself and others that really do an amazing job making sure that people know what's going on and how to become involved in it. I think consistently doing a little bit more of that and enticing people to take the time to come come together more often in person
Yes.
to really, big believer in that, other than certain situations like this where we have a podcast and we're remote. But I think if we can really serve our community and the people better that want to your point, do better, right? Get out of their own way, become more successful, and whatever it is that's important to them, we have a responsibility to kind of work together in our own community and help the village really be
Absolutely.
the best that they can be.
Miguel, you said something very powerful. You said it, and you've said it to me more than once, and it resonates with me. And it is that you feel it is time to give to others what was once given to us. I always I say it this way. I want to give by grace what was given to me by grace, right? A gift. I'm the product of a mentor that took me under his wing for 20 years. He
Yep.
became my business partner. And I always think back and I say, what would have been of me had I not had that mentor? What's the impact that you see
Yep.
you want to really make in Naples, Miguel? Tell us what's in your heart. What's your heartbeat for your community and for the place that you obviously work, live, and play?
It is a very simple standard, Lucy, and I call it a standard and not a goal, because standard is a difference between something that is a dream with a deadline, which is a goal that I can scratch and say no, and a standard. And my standard is to help people, as many as I can, as many as allow me to and trust me in and to be that vehicle without expecting anything in return. Right? Not because I want to network, because I want to get deals or I want to talk to somebody. So I firmly believe that when you operate from that mindset, number one, you don't get frustrated. Nobody can really let you down because you have no expectations. You are there just to do what you need to do. It's like that book of Mel Robbins, Let Them, right?
Let
So
them, yes.
that's important there. So it's just operate from that grateful heart. And when you operate from a grateful heart, you have a little internal peace. And when you have that internal peace, that's the clarity that we're bringing in here. And you serve. And you serve it just because. You don't serve because you have an other motive. It is funny how life pays you back 10 times fold in different ways, right? I love to see people in Naples that I have talked to and their kids are growing up and they recognize me. I don't recognize them because they were little kids and I was able to give them a home. And yes, it was a transaction. Of course, we all got compensated for all these things. It's still a job to do, but it is a job that has a purpose. It's not just for the sake of the money. It's not for the sake of the transaction, right?
Yes.
And yes, you should be rewarded in a higher amount of money if you do a good job.
Of
I call
course.
it a scorecard, right? To my team, and if they were here, they will tell you that we need to get paid well, because the greater that you get paid, the greater the problem that you solved,
Right.
right? So that's a scorecard. That's just your scorecard. It should not be the end result. So it's just giving and have that internal peace and being able to, leave this place at least helping somebody that I needed once before. So more than a massive impact, Lucy, I'm looking for more individual impact. But if we all do that, the massive impact will happen, right? Because I would be very naive to believe and very egocentric, say I have the solution to help the world. I don't, but I can help one person.
Right. We could be
That
part
I
of
can
the
do.
solution.
Right. So if we help one, that's a success.
Yes.
And that's a standard. As a standard, I help people, period. That's what I do.
I love that. So I want to give you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes as I was preparing, even at our last Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp, which is an ecosystem built and created for people from all walks of life, everyone that's wanting to reach their next best level. It has really become an activation environment, right? We show up, we activate. It's not a networking, it's not a seminar, it's not a workshop. It's not a classroom. It's a place where people show up as, strangers, and just the energy that happens in that room, and the people that show up, because I never know who's going to show up. I don't sell memberships. It is a place that has been curated with the focus of just, you know, giving everyone an opportunity to step up and really get around like-minded people. We have to, I believe there's power in proximity. There's power in the tables that I sit at. There's power in the people that I associate with. And so, as I was thinking about immediately that Wednesday about the next one, I said, okay, who can I invite? And both of you came to mind. And I said, oh my goodness, what if they say no, right? Because as humans, we always think, what if they say no? But I said, no, I'm going to reach out. I asked Talia, and obviously she helped me get in touch with Lorraine, and I was able to get in touch with Miguel. And, it is amazing how when we take the leaps of faith, things come to play. So, Lorraine, I want to ask you, why do you feel people need to be in the room tomorrow listening to what you're going to share at Legends Lounge, obviously, where we meet at Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp? Why would you tell people that are watching now or watching on replay, be there? What are they going to hear from you?
Well, first of all, you're going to have a damn good time. So I think that is numero uno. Like, get your butt there, because, when you engage with people, when we interact and we develop relationships and share different experiences or different skill sets with others, listen, you're going to have a good time, whatever that means to you. So that's number one. But secondly, I think we all have something to offer each other. And I don't know about all of you, but I know a lot of people, whether it's family or friends or just acquaintances, that complain a lot every day, right? So we have so many people that are expressing dissatisfaction, unhappiness, sadness, whatever it is. And the more that we talk about all of those things, the more that they find us. You ever hear the expression, oh my gosh, that dark cloud is following them, right? Oh my God, the cloud. Well, that's because you put the cloud there, most of the time. So I think this kind of a forum tomorrow, Lucy, that we're going to be involved in will really give us an even better opportunity to share the energies, right, that come from a lot of the people that are going to be there with you, as well as whoever attends. And just those energy levels that you'll get from a variety of different people with their backgrounds, their skill sets and everything, that is going to just create an automatic inspiration and really fuel a flame within you to do something different, especially if you're not getting what you are seeking, or you are constantly talking to your friends and family about what's missing. Why does this always happen to me? How come I can't, right? So, and it's funny because years ago I wrote a book called, Living a Rockstar Life. And the reason I did that a long time ago was because of the complaining people that I was around constantly. And, when I would walk up to somebody, I'd be like, hi, Lisa. Hi, Lucy. How nice to meet you. How you doing? Oh, I'm hanging in there. If I hear that one more time, somebody's going to get hurt, right? So I'm like, what are you hanging on to? I don't get it. So I think when we teach others how to recognize that their responses and their behaviors and their energy level, their thought processes and all that kind of good stuff affects everybody else. Energy is energy, folks. Whether it's bad or good, it's a decision that we make. So I think us as a group and being in this forum will really lend itself to making sure that we take the light that we have that's shining and shine it on everybody else, because everybody has a purpose, everybody has a place, and everybody has a reason to shine. We all have something to contribute. So I hope that we are able to do that tomorrow to whoever comes.
Well, I know we're going to have a beautiful full room of people that are coming to admire both of you and learn from both of you. And I want to respect your time. So in closing, I want to get a little bit vulnerable. I admire leaders that have the courage to be vulnerable and transparent, because sometimes we're surrounded by leaders that are playing a facade. That used to be me many years ago. I acted like I knew it all. I acted like I had it all together. And yes, life had blessed me with incredible opportunities and being able to, be, do, and have things that I never imagined I would be able to. But I love getting vulnerable, and I want you guys to join me. And I want to ask you this question, something that people need to know about me, and the reason why I do these crazy things, because I'm a visionary, but it's because I want people to realize and be able to say, if Lucy can do it, I think I can do it. Because Lucy's not special. She's just courageous. She's fearless. I've learned to be fearless. What do you want people to know about you, Miguel, that is not clear to the eye?
That it was a process. That you might see chapter 50 of my book, but I started with chapter 1. And maybe tomorrow we can go over chapter 1, because people love the chapter 50 and want to get to the end of the book. And I still have another 50 to write, but I hope. But yeah, let's go and be real. Let's talk about what it takes. Let's talk about, people don't know, and people who I am or what I went through. And it's not about me, it's about them. Tomorrow we have somebody that is very near and dear to my heart and very special, a young man that I had the blessing to work by my side, 21, 22-year-old kid.
I can't wait to meet him.
I love this guy, and he is in chapter 15, what others are just starting, right? But he thought it was possible. He has no fear, to your point, Lucy. So let's get together tomorrow and talk about chapter 1. I'm not gonna give you a secret sauce, because everybody has to, make their own recipe. Yes. But we're gonna give you guys then what not to do. Now, as humans, we don't learn from other people's experiences. Sometimes we need to live through them. So that is okay. What probably the message will be that even though you're going to have hard times, at the end, everything is temporary, and everything, success or failure, is temporary. And you're going to hear from us. I have a great deal of respect from Lorraine. We have been blessed to work together in the same company for a period of time. We have been blessed to be in the same stages. We have been blessed to be friends. You're going to learn more from her than from me. I'm super honored to be there. And we're going to learn from guys like Alberto. Yes. Right? And from Tim. I don't know if he's going to be in the stage or not, but let's say he's up there.
As well. Tim took the challenge of being our market leader. I said, Tim, you're the king of networking. You need to help us bring people together. And he was the one that recommended Alberto and Lorraine. And of course, he rooted for Miguel. So thank you, Tim.
Yes. Yeah, so that's what we're going to get tomorrow. We're going to be in a place, proximity is power, that you're going to be able to, if you want and elect to do, ask questions, be there, not just waste time. If you're going to go to learn, just be there.
Yes.
Be there, be present, be intentional.
Yes.
Ask. It's not that I am unreachable, but I also have a lot of things going on. So we're going to be there. Let's see if I can tell you what my chapter 1 was, and my chapter 2, and maybe chapter 5. And I don't know what time would allow us to do, but we were just going to share. It's going to be an open book, very vulnerable, very, very, intentional and from the heart, which makes the most sense. And if you have not seen Lorraine in action, you are up for a treat. So fun is going to be there. That's a for sure thing.
No pressure.
I love it.
I love you, Lorraine.
I love this. I love what you said. Miguel, you said something very powerful. It's a process. You may be on chapter 50, but you didn't start. None of us start at the top. People just see the glory. But I want to bring the story, because the story is what empowers other people to realize that they're not the only ones going through the blood, the sweat, and the tears. They're not the only ones that life is not being fair to. They're not the only ones that are struggling, but we can also show them what happens on the other side when you don't throw in the towel, when you don't quit, when you get around the right people. And I honor the both of you, because I imagine how busy you are, and for you to take your life, which is your time, to come and be part of this pioneering movement. Listen, I'm not following anyone's path, any scripts. This is an unedited, unadulterated, purely divinely guided, because I'm like, It's one foot in front of the other. And that's just the truth. I've got, I'm not running a competition of, what do you call it? A beauty pageant. I'm not competing for number one. I'm just coming to, allow life to take its course. And I'm open to all the possibilities, and I'm willing to accept things as they come, because I believe that God has bigger dreams for us than we can ever dream for ourselves. So, Lorraine, what do people not know about you that you want them to know?
Well, first of all, I love how Miguel dangled the carrot that you better be there. I want to hear about chapter one. I just want you to know that too. So I'm excited for that. You know, when it comes to being vulnerable, I agree 100%. And I'll give you one piece of what I went through. A number of years ago, I went to a leadership academy. Company I was working for had sent a bunch of up and coming leaders to this particular leadership academy. It was like a few days. It was in New York City. I'll never forget it. And we took a lot of classes. And one of the classes was we were actually interviewed by a psychologist, and it was recorded, having conversations. And I was, in a leadership position, but I was going into a higher one, and I was very nervous because I'm very emotional. I'm an emotional person. I, whether it's, showing emotion, feeling emotion. And I thought that I was not cut out for corporate America because of that emotional part of me. And as much as I've tried to control that over the years in certain situations, it does creep up. I've gotten a little bit better at it as I've gotten older, but I realize I'm like, getting emotional is a human instinct. There's really nothing wrong with it. It's not like I'm just like sobbing all over the stage all the time, but I do get very, very in the trenches with emotion. And I always thought that was a negative, especially being a female in a leadership position, right? We talk about, the fact, oh, women are too emotional. You're right. We are emotional. We're different than men. We're made differently. Our thought process is like a revolving river. We can't compartmentalize as well as men can. So it's a little bit more of a struggle to be able to balance those things out. So I always worried about that. And then when I, had a team where I used to work, I made sure that I hired people that were much smarter than I was in a lot of different aspects. And I still carry, and the emotional part of me became part of the success of that division. So there's a double-edged sword. There's a way you can have that emotional part of you as a leader and as an entrepreneur and a professional person, and use that to your advantage to really show others that you do care.
Right.
You don't have to be a stuffed shirt, right, for lack of better words, stone cold person to be an effective leader. So
Right.
share more about that.
I love that. Well, we are building one big fire. You guys are bringing your flames and your brilliance and your stories. And tomorrow is just going to be an exceptional day. I'm so grateful once again for both of you, for believing in this, for trusting me, right? And for coming together. And yes, like Miguel said, I believe that there's so many unsung heroes in Naples. I believe that there are so many people that are not part of the top producers club yet, but they deserve to be seen. They deserve to be recognized. They deserve to be honored for their efforts, for their struggle, for their tenacity. Because at the end of the day, we don't have it all figured out. We don't have everything all together, but I believe that together we have it all. So, Miguel, thank you. Gracias, mi amigo. Thank you so much. It means the world to me that you said yes. Lorraine, I am forever grateful. You who don't even have an idea. And of course, to the rest of the people that are going to be there, like Alberto. I was telling Talia, I want to meet this guy. We need more Albertos in our industry. And I want to hear his story. And of course, to our market leader, Tim, the king of networking, the man that's always bringing people together. And I admire that. And I always remember what he says. My mom taught me to be inclusive. And that, that just spoke volumes to me. So I said, this is the kind of people that Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp must bring together. because it is our moment. It is our moment to make a difference. Thank you, Miguel, once again.
Love it.
Thank you,
Love it.
Lorraine. And we will see everyone tomorrow at
You're
Legends.
welcome. Thank you.
We'll see you all tomorrow. Don't miss
Yes,
it.
don't
Yes,
miss
be
it
there.
because we're building a big fire. Bye bye, everyone.